am feeling immensely happy in introducing the incredible learned personality, Andre Riehl from France. He is a master of Nidra Yoga and Kashmir Shaiva Tantra. He is a student of yoga since 1972. He first stayed in a monastery in the Himalayas and met many traditional masters studying extremely specific teachings of classical as well as tantric yoga practices. After some years of searching, meeting with Kashmiri Babu, an ascetic from the Shaiva tradition, he underwent a retreat of deep study into the spiritual quest. Also, very touched by his meetings with J. Krishnamurti and Sri Anand Mahima, he studied further important aspects of the inner path. It was the final encounter with Chandraswami, an ascetic from the Brahmanic lineage of the Udasins, which would give a full understanding of all the teachings studied before. He has been teaching Mantra Yoga, Pran Kriya and Swadhyay. He is a Nidra Yoga instructor for the past 20 years across 5 continents. He is a board member of the European Union of Yoga, founder of Nidra Consciousness, founder member of Indian Yoga Association, and director of Nidra Study Centers across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Andre Riehl.
Plus extraordinaire. Yes. Hare Om, Hare Om, Hare Om, everyone. First of all, I want to thank United Consciousness for inviting me to this meeting. I'm talking to you from France, south of France, where it's still, it is the beginning of winter. It's a little cold here. I don't know where all the listeners are from. I know Vikranji is able to gather people from all over the world. And I'd like to thank him for doing this work, which is a big, big task. I'm here for talking a little bit about what has been called spirituality and the art of acceptance. Generally speaking, I know that in this in the yoga community, the idea of acceptance or the concept of acceptance is pretty much spread with this idea that people or yogis should reach a state, or at least conscious people should reach a state where they accept things, they don't oppose to reality. We really should be careful not mixing up this, we might call it a goal, with the personal possibilities that we have in daily life. Because seeing the situation of the world, we cannot accept what's going on. And the idea of accepting has to be very, very, or the concept of idea has to be questioned. What do we mean by accepting? And we could say that there are 3 stages. One would be state of resignation, then a state of acceptance, then a state of surrendering. And most of the time, we consider that resignation is accepting, which is not at all. That's why I say that we should never accept anything. Anything we are interested in, we should never accept what is explained by others. We should question everything. If we are interested in one particular topic, freedom of the human, not only person, but of the human mind, is about finding by oneself what do we mean for anything that we consider to be important. What does it mean questioning deeply and not taking for granted whatever is said or given or shown by others, whoever they are. We today face a global situation where we know that a big number of leaders are corrupted, and we still follow them. By following them, we accept also to be personally corrupted minded. And this has to be really, really questioned. When I talk about resignation, resignation brings a state where there is a strong duality in between what exists, what is, or we could say what is possible, and our wish. There is a strong conflict in between what we wish and what reality is. And in between those two, there is no agreement, never. And this disagreement brings a deep conflict within individual minds. But we should never forget that mankind is the union of all the individual minds. And if we are not personally clear, we participate to the global confusion. And this is what resignation is about. That is, we just follow a particular rule or a saying or what we are asked to behave like. And by following, we fall into this huge well, this huge deep well of confusion. So first thing, for acceptance, what has been called here the art of acceptance, first thing is not to follow anything and anyone. I know many of you maybe do not agree with this, especially into this, what is called spiritual world, where a kind of implicit rule has been accepted since thousands of years, where we just follow what our guide, what in India they call guru, what the guide says, and we do what he says or what she says, which means losing one's own freedom. And for deeply accepting, there is a very important quality, which is to feel absolutely free. You cannot accept anything if you're not, before accepting, if you don't feel free. If we accept without feeling free, what we do is mainly putting our mind in jail, in prison. And this is what resignation is about, which is the most common behavior we can find all over the planet. Not only today, this might have been going on for centuries, because it is about the human mind. And the human mind has not changed so much since long. Now, when we talk about acceptance, which could be understood as the second step towards freedom, in acceptance, there is still a less, let's say, a lighter duality, but still there is duality, where the mind realizes the existence of conflict in between what is possible and what is wished. Remember, resignation is about a strong duality in between what is possible and what we wish. What I mean by what is possible, what exists and what we wish. In acceptance, we just realize that there is this disagreement going on in between what is and what we wish. In resignation, we don't see that. We just follow. So we could say that into this state of acceptance, duality is less strong, and the perception that we have of the conflict is softer. Now the question is, do we want to live in softer conflict, or do we want to live without conflict? And it's a big question, because many human beings, they are not interested in being free of conflict. Because through conflict, we can impose our point of view, and we can hope for others to follow us, which means we hope for others to accept what we say. But beyond what we say, we hope for people to accept what we are. And if our mind is corrupted, what we ask the people is to accept corruption. So these are really big questions when we're talking about acceptance. Not to follow. Then second point is being aware of what's going on within ourselves, being aware of the difference in between what we wish and what is. We cannot escape reality. This is impossible. Some spirituality have invented the concept that there was another reality somewhere beyond the sky, or we never know where. But reality is reality. We cannot, it's impossible to escape it. One day or another, we have to face it. So what is left if resignation is not a good answer, if acceptance is not a good enough answer? What is left for us? Yoga has kind of developed not only a concept, but what they call sadhana, practical experience that can be translated in English as surrendering. Surrendering is when duality vanishes, facing reality, facing what is. Surrendering is a state where duality vanishes. So in several traditions, this is what religions have based their programs, saying that we represent what they call God, or we are the we represent a state to which you have to surrender. This is resignation. This is not surrendering. Surrendering has to do with discovering a kind of beyondness where there is no more me and the other, where there is no more inside and outside, when there is no more differentiation. How to do this? Intellectually, we can easily understand that each human being behaves differently, has different ideas, is going through different emotions. This is very simple. But we can also intellectually perceive that deeply what we call the being, what we are, is common to all mankind. The personal being of a person doesn't exist. There is only one being. This is where the conflict in between the me and the other vanishes, disappears. When this disappears, what comes with is a state of surrendering, which is not at all a resignation to everything that is asked to us, which is not at all accepting the difference in between what we wish and what is. Surrendering us to do only with what is and nothing else. And what is not the object of whatever. What is the subject of our of what we or who we are. So it's about surrendering to what we are, remembering that what we are is not personal. This is a quite high, we could say, high level in the yoga studies. And we should never forget that it is not about studying through books or listening to speakers, but it is about realizing that we have only one life. And living is a very, very serious topic. It's a very, very serious thing. And it's about our life, not ideas, not concepts. And it starts from stopping following whoever or whatever. I wish you a nice day or night. I don't know where you are. I know you're spread all over the world. And please go deeply into all those topics that are presented to you since yesterday. And we are quite a number of speakers here. And I know some of them. I know some of them are very, very serious. And we ask you, because we are the world, I deeply ask you to inquire deeply, to question, to explore, and not to accept what is said. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, respected Andre ji. And I want to let audience know that Honorable Andre ji is the board member of United Consciousness. And Andre ji, listening to you always needs a pen and a paper because what you say is that deeper that you can't, without complete focus, you can't understand. So beautifully, you mentioned about the importance that resignation means just following whatever is being told is not appropriate. You should think of something better. And acceptance also, you mentioned that don't just accept, ask questions to everything, just like Lord Buddha mentioned. And if you keep on accepting everything as it is, you then you become what you follow. And if wrong people will make you accept, then you may also go in the lines of corruption also. And then you said that yoga sadhana provides a solution called surrender. I loved the way you said surrender is a state where duality vanishes and reality begins. When there is no more me and you, no more inside and outside. So this level gives us complete freedom. Only being is left. And you so beautifully said that there are not many beings. There is only one being. There is no personal being. And that is the mission of United Consciousness. One consciousness, one being. Complete the sense of surrender, Advait. And you said that surrender to what we are, surrender to life. I'm sure that the message must have reached to the audience in the spirit it has been told. Thank you very much for honoring us during your busy times.
Just let me tell you one thing, Vikramji. For listening, you don't need a pen and a paper. You need a silent mind and an open heart.
This is what again has to be thought upon. That's amazing. And I wish I could have hugged you, Andreji. Digital mediums have its own limitations. Sending a digital hug to you. Thank you.
Okay, and see you soon in Ujjain then.
Yes. Welcome.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
I owe my thanks to Mr. Andre Riehl for guiding us the meditation practices. Thank you very much.